Shalom, shalom, Shabbat, shalom. On this thing right now, solo dolo, but Lord willing, maybe a few brothers may get on, maybe they may not, man. Either way, all praises. We on here for another FreeStyle Friday lesson entitled "Don't Just Look for a Wife, Find a Good Mother." Right? Don't just look for a woman that looks good and that you can wake up to every morning and somebody that's sexy, somebody that you could show off to the guy. Don't just look for that, right? But look for somebody that's going to be a future mother to your kids. Got one video I'm going to play of an elder giving his wisdom and some precepts to break down along with it. And that'll be the lesson for tonight. The brothers may be on, they may be not. We had a new moon, so some brothers is traveling back home to their respective areas. Nonetheless, I didn't want to be on here all night, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We want to give all glory and honor and praise to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who sent his son as an instrument of salvation for the nation, and that nation is Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes, shalom to the believers, the commandment keepers, and shalom to the cleavers that say they're going to take a hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew and go to their God. So come, man, let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. What's going on? It's acting like it's not want to work. I don't know what's going on with the app, man. What is going on? Yo, it's acting weird. They go Obadiah. This mouse. Shalom. My mouse must be about to die or something.
Had to teleport here, man. Had to teleport home. I seen you alive, so I had to kind of teleport. Am I my brother's keeper?
Oh, that brother got on. That brother got home quick. Brother must have been driving the speed limit today.
Yeah, man, I was pushing it, man. All praises, though. Mighty new moon today, though. Mighty new moon, man. Mighty fellowship with the brethren and the sister and the children.
Yeah, man. I think this mouse is finna die, man. So I gotta operate quick while it's still on. Hold on. I'm gonna play the blowing of the shofar. Man. So blow the trumpet in the new moon, man. It is our new moon, so mighty blowing of the shofar. Let's get started, man. I got this video from Facebook, so let's check it out, man. This elder's gonna give his wisdom on. He's gonna give his wisdom on not only finding a wife, but finding somebody that's gonna be a future mother to your kids. Right? Shalom to the brother in the chat.
Somebody told me earlier, finding a good mother for your kids is more important than finding a good-looking woman for yourself. Beauty fade. But how she raised them babies, that lasts forever.
I hear you, OG.
Now listen. Let me tell you something I wish somebody told me earlier. Finding a good mother for your kids is more important than finding a good-looking woman for yourself. Beauty fade. But how she raised them babies, that lasts forever.
I hear you, OG.
Right? Beauty fades.
Is that real or that's AI?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's real though. Right? I'm thinking it's real. Nonetheless, whether it's AI or not, it was good edification. You know what I'm saying? Because if that was somebody else, like nobody would have listened to him because he got that gray hair. You know, you might be like, what he got to say, right? Finding a good woman, you know, that looks good, that's cool. But he said beauty fades. Sound like that brother been reading the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Beauty fades, but how she raised them kids though, right? Because, you know, them kids is the future. Them kids is a representation of you. Them kids are going to carry on your last name or your legacy of your family after you're dead and gone. Them kids are going to take your inheritance, whether that be land or money or a car that you used to drive or whatever, or a house. They're going to take that. And what are they going to do? Are they going to respect it and honor it, whatever you give them? Or are they going to waste it on the world, or they're going to lose it somehow? And that's all because of how they're going to be trained up by their mom, who they spend most of their time with at a young age. All right, so let's get this first precept, man. Shouldn't be a long lesson. Deuteronomy 28 and 56. If the brother Obadiah can read that, let's get into why he's saying that. Because there was a curse on our people. Let's read this.
Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be even towards the husband of her bosom, and towards her son, and towards her daughter.
Come on, man. So part of the curses is that the woman that you would choose, man, she would end up hating her whole family. At one point in time, she was delicate. At one point in time, she was tender, right? You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't set her the foot on the ground, right? Hey, can you close that door? My door. You know, at one point in time, you know, she wouldn't set her foot on the ground. She'd be carried around. That's how delicate she was, and that's how loved she was. But the generational curse was that she would be on these podcasts with an evil eye towards the man of her own nation. She would kick her son out when he turned 18, kick her daughter out when she turned 17, 18, because she ready to get back in them streets. She would her eye would be bitter towards her family, right? So you got to pick the right woman in today's age and time, because you don't want this curse to apply to you, bro. But because we have these curses before us and we can read them and we can apply this stuff to our life, we know how to be prudent now and pick the right woman, right? As the title says, don't just look for a wife, find a good mother. It doesn't matter what she looked like right now, because guess what? As they grow older, they're gonna put on a few pounds. They're gonna get some wrinkles, right? They're gonna get some gray in their hair. That beauty fades. I know you can't see it right now. You can't fathom it right now because these women, they look so youthful and, you know, and pretty and beautiful. That beauty ends up fading though. When they wrinkled up, the back is all hunched over because they got back problems. They can't walk. They're not gonna be always sexy, brothers. But is she going to be a good mom? She's going to be a good grandma, right? Let's get the next precept. 2nd Ezra 5 and 8.
2nd Ezra 5 and 8, it says, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Right, emphasizing that last part on, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Right, there was a AI generated picture that was going around, and I wish I had it, but it pretty much depicted this: a woman kicking her husband or her baby dad out the house, and her children became monsters. Her daughter became fast, became a whore. Her son became a drug dealer, gangster, whoremonger. Right, they was, you know, had people and things coming all throughout the house. Right. And the mom raised that. You got to pick a mom that's not going to raise menstruous monsters. She's not going to bring forth monsters out of her womb. That's what that is. Menstruous women with their menstrual cycles, right? Actual women shall bring forth monsters, meaning they're going to birth monsters, bro. They're going to birth people that are demons to the society, YNs, as we call them today, right? They're gonna put people in this society that is gonna make us afraid to even be family with each other. So you gotta pick your woman wisely. You don't want that to be the case for you, brothers. right? Let's read this, right? Let's read an example of what happened in the time of Esdras.
First Ezra chapter 8 and verse 92. Then Jeconias, the son of Jealous, one of the sons of Israel, called out and said, O Ezra, we have sinned against the Lord God. We have married strange women of the nations of the land, and now is all Israel aloft.
Right? Aloft. Meaning,
Aloft.
what does that mean, man? That means all of Israel has gone off because of these women. Why? Because these women brought forth monsters. Because when you think about it, man, the woman is with the kid so much. If that woman, that heathen woman of another nation is, excuse me, celebrating her idols, she's celebrating all her wicked holidays, guess what? Them kids gonna grow up doing the same thing. And when they get older and they're grown men and they're no longer kids, it's gonna cause the nation to go off, to go aloft. All right, let's read this next the next verse, Obadiah.
Verse 93. Let us make an oath to the Lord that we will put away all our wives, which we have taken of the heathen with their children.
Right. So it's not in the law, but they made an oath to the Lord that they would put away all their wives. Why? And the children. It says with their children that they have taken with the heathen. Why? Because they understand that it's not just about making a woman a wife. You go to war and you make, oh, I got another wife. It's not about just getting wives and racking up on wives and getting the most beautiful wife. It's about getting mothers because they're going to eventually have kids, right? I know a lot of times, man, you know, even in the world, brothers get a girlfriend and they so in love and sprung with their girlfriend and they never imagine them to get pregnant. Then when they get pregnant, now they're like, what am I going to do? I'm not ready for this. I don't think my girl ready for this. Then they girl talking about aborting a baby and adopting or giving the baby up for adoption and stuff because she wasn't ready to be a mom. And you did that, brother. Right? You got to be able to be prudent enough to see these matters play out. And you got to stop looking for just a wife. You got to look for somebody that's a good mother. Does she have good mother traits? Does she even like children? Right? Is she patient? Or does she always want to give her kid up? She always looking for somebody to babysit. She always looking for somebody to hold her own child, right? Or does she love her kids no matter how annoying they are, right? Is she patient with them even though she may be mad? Is she good at playing games with children and is she good at fixing plates of food and is she good at being selfless? Because when they have kids, them kids love their mom. They want to be all up on them, eat their mom's food, drink their mom's drink. Is she one to get irritated easily? Is she one to be a good mom? You got to look at these things when you're dating, brothers. And I know you're not looking at it right now because she got the lip gloss on, her hair done, y'all going on dates. But guess what, man? You got to put that to the side and be like, man, I'm starting to notice traits in her that are selfish. And everywhere we go, she always taking selfies. She all about herself. She may not even want to get pregnant because she don't want to destroy her body. It's a lot of women out there that's carnal like that. You got to notice these traits, man, and pick a woman that's going to be a good mother. Right? Let's read this real quick.
Proverbs 6:20. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Right? This is innate in us. Even though it's written in Proverbs, it's a wise saying, but it's innate in us that we don't forget the law of our mother. That's why it says, as the daughter, as the mother is, so is the daughter. And so is the son, right? The things that your mom teach you, the words that your mom put in your ear, you remember them for the rest of your life, right? Whether they were good things or bad things, whether that your mom said that you were so talented or whether your mom said you was ugly. You remember those things that your mom say. The law of thy mother is something that you're not going to forget. So you got to understand that when you're picking a wife for you, that's going to be a future mom, that is she gentle with her words? Is she kind? Right? Does she know how to bridle her tongue before she says the first thing that comes to her mind? Or is she going to be cussing in front of her kids? Is she going to be cussing her kids out? Is she going to be making fun of her kids? Right? Speaking stuff over her kids? Or is she going to be one that's prudent, like, nah, I'm going to speak life over my kids? Instead of saying, why did you do that? Or Why can't you do that? She's gonna say, you can do it. I know you can. You gotta look for those traits, man. Stop just looking at her looks, right? I want to end it out on this in Proverbs. You guessed it. Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31. We're gonna read 25 through 30. 25 through 30.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come.
Right? So you got to pick a woman that's worthy of being honorable, and she's strong. You got to stop these weak women out here, man, that's giving into the world, and they don't know how to be strong no more. They don't know their own strength. They give up easily. They look for the easy way out all the time. They always think that they can't do it. They get overwhelmed too easily. Yeah, you're gonna get overwhelmed as a woman, but we got to look at our ancestors. Look at our moms, some of our grandparents back in the days when they were living. Look at some of these women in these other countries and how strong they are. I'm talking about pregnant, taking water to the watering hole and bringing it back, carrying a kid on their back, and they pregnant and they got water on their head. They're strong. You got to pick a woman that's going to be strong, and you got to pick one that's going to be honorable. Does her reputation precede her? Was she known to be a good person in the world, or was she known to be fast? And I know we all repent. I understand that. But reputation does matter, right? It says, are her clothing, meaning it's all over her spiritually. Go ahead, Obadiah.
No, you good. I'll get a precept after we break this down.
All right, verse 26.
Verse 26. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness.
Right. Is she wise, man? Has she learned experiences in life, right? And is she kind in her tongue? Because she's gonna use that for her kids. Read verse 27.
Verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness.
Right? She's not idle, man. She's not looking to just sit on the couch all day, sleep all day, and fake the funk when her husband get home. Kids done run amok, done broke stuff. She don't have her eyes on her kids. They doing whatever. You know, the kids happy when dad get home. Don't get me wrong, because all kids are happy when their dad get home, but they happy when their dad get home because now they got some security. You don't want a woman like that, right? Read verse 28.
Verse 28. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her.
Right? Now, nowadays you got some kids, they don't call their mom blessed. Man, my mom, she in and out the house with boyfriends. Man, these Negroes always doing my mom dirty, bro. My mom living a miserable life, bro. All she do is cry, bro. That's not blessed. You want somebody that, the commitment is key to them. So they're going to love marriage and be committed and love no matter how good they feel. They're going to put their family's feelings over their feelings. That's, nowadays you got even women in the truth talking about your kids deserve a happy mom. Hey, look, them kids don't know if your mom happy or not. They just see actions, bro. They'll understand like later on in life, like, oh, my mom probably wasn't happy. But as kids, man, they're not going to notice that. They're going to notice if she was present and if y'all parents stay together. That's what matters. Is she going to be one for commitment? Because then the kids are going to call her blessed. Yeah, my parents were always together. Yeah, my parents may have argued, but they always loved each other. My mom's so blessed to have a dad, a husband like that, X, Y, and Z. So you want your kids to call their mother blessed, and you as a husband want to call her blessed too. And man, I done seen her grow so much, man, since we've been married. She cooking she cooking better than my mom now. Man, she making clothes. She doing stuff that she didn't know how to do before she met me, bro. She's so blessed. Let's read verse 29.
Verse 29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excelleth them all.
Right, verse 30.
Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised.
That's what that old man was saying in the video, man. Beauty fades, and it's vain, man. Meaning it's gonna amount to nothing. But a woman that feareth the Lord, man, she's the one that's gonna be praised. Why? Because she's gonna read the words of God and apply it to her life, right? So look for a mother, not just a wife. What was the precept you was gonna bring out?
Sirach 7 and 26.
This is Sirach chapter 7 and 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman.
Con, man. So basically what the scripture saying, man, if you have a wife after your own mind, don't forsake her. Keep her. She's part of your team, right? So don't forsake her. If you have a wife that's willing to, listen to you and obey the Most High and that enjoy being a mother, don't forsake her. He said, but give not thyself over to a light woman. Don't give yourself over to a woman that's an airhead. That don't what Cardi B said in I forgot a song she had. She said she don't cook or clean. Don't give yourself over to a woman like that. And a lot of these light women be the ones that's beautiful. On the outside, they gorgeous. Like you like, dang, she bad. But the whole time she a light woman. She an airhead. Right? She can't bring nothing to the table but sex. Keep it real. That's what she think. Only thing I'm bringing to the table is sex and the iPhone.
Right, man. She an airhead, man. She don't know how to iron no clothes. She don't know how to meal prep. She don't know how to organize. She don't know how to clean a toilet. She don't know how to do nothing. She's an airhead. And brothers, you may say, yeah, I don't care about that right now. She can learn. But when you get married, it's gonna be even when you marry a woman that's not an airhead, she's not a light woman. There's gonna be little stuff that she doesn't do that you expect her to do that kind of tick you off. And you got to remember and be like, okay, man, she can't read my mind. Let me tell her, right? But imagine, and that's with a good woman. Imagine you get with an airhead. Your life, you just gonna be irritated all day. You just gonna want to leave the house. You're just gonna want to get something to drink, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So don't give yourself over to a light woman just because she look good, man. That's the only reason why people give themselves over to a light woman. It's because she look good. Go ahead, though. What you saying?
It's this Edomite I work with, right? It's the Edomite I work with. He gave himself over to a light woman, right? He go to work and she stay home. She stay home all day. He go home. She ain't clean up. She ain't cook. The house dirty. It stank. She ain't did nothing. The whole time he been gone for work, she ain't did nothing. All right, so it's like he got with an airhead. Now he gonna be upset and angry all the day long because he got in a situation with the airhead. But he an airhead too, so they a good match, an airhead and the airhead. So I mean, put them together.
Man, to that same point, you want to be able to have a wife that's after thy mind, like meaning like she already know what you're expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like why you at work and she home alone, she already knowing like when he come home, he probably gonna want the dishes done. When he come home, he probably gonna want this, that, and the third, and she gonna do it without you telling her, right? And that goes back to Genesis 3:16, where it talks about the woman's desire should be to the man, and that's really just putting the bigger picture is, am I getting somebody that's going to be on my team, that's going to want the team to succeed by buying into my plans, by buying into my thoughts and my expectations. And what happens is you get something that a relationship in a household that flows, right? When a woman can pick up on little certain things that her husband is expecting, not really just of her, but just in general, right? Because that's what women are supposed to do. You're supposed to pick up on those cues and find out the expectations of your husband and do them because you're his helpmeet, right? That's what goes into being a helpmeet is supplying help, and not all the time is help supposed to be verbalized, but you get to a point where you're so virtuous that it's just innate and you already know your partner. You know how the Bible says to dwell with your wives according to knowledge. Wives got to dwell with their husbands according to knowledge too. You got to know what he likes, what he dislikes, what he's expecting, what he's not. And that's what it really means about a wife after thy own mind. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's important because it says, "Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not." Meaning, it's hard to find a wife that's after your mind. These women these days, they're not after the man mind; they're after their own mind. You might get with her, and she not after your mind; she after her mind, right? She's trying to figure out why you're not doing something to her liking, right? Instead of saying, you know what, let me put this on. I know he likes me when I wear this. Let me make sure my kid. Let me buy instead of some men, you know, they may want their kids looking a certain way with a certain style or a certain swag, right? And you may have a different style or swag for your kids. But if you got a mind after your husband's mind, you're gonna be like, nah, he wouldn't want them to wear that. Let me change them and put them in this, right? That's a mother, that's a wife after your mind, right? So you got to make sure that you getting a wife after your mind, and she's gonna be a good mother because she's gonna know what you expect or what you want the mother of your kids to be like, right? So all these things play a part in finding a wife and a good mother. Don't just find a wife, brothers. And that's the problem with our community now. We just finding women. That's why so many polygynous marriages don't work. That's why so many monogamous marriages don't work. You finding a wife, brother. The men in our community are finding just women that look good, and they think they can make it work because they're not being prudent. They're not thinking ahead. So that's all I got for tonight, though. Hopefully that was edifying, man. You know, don't just look for a wife. Find a good mother. Do any of the brothers got any final words?
Listen.
Con, man. Well, we're the hopeful elect. And like our big brother said, man, if you're not gathering, you're scattering. So gather together, O nation, not desire, as it says in Genesis 49:1 and Zephaniah 2:1, right? And we say shalom. Hopefully everybody has a peaceful, restful Sabbath day.
Shalom.
Brother, you gotta be on it, bro. I'm over here waiting. I'm like, bro, is he gonna play? Shalom.